Ladies and gentlemen and people of all genders, we are in one of the most magical places on earth. It's an island that is in the mouth of a river right in Normandy, France, that has a monastery right on top of it. The thing is, with this island, you can actually walk to it many times a year, but also many other times a year, you're surrounded by water. This is Mont San Michel in Normandy, France. And we're going to wander around here for a live video to see how much we can see of this island inside. Join me. I'm Ariel, this is Urbanist, and welcome. Right here, we're seeing the monastery part. So the reason I'm going live in a very low 480p standard definition is because there's not going to be too much cell phone reception here. But I do want to show it to you live for the people who are lucky to tune in at this time. Right now, we are right by the monastery part. So how did this even begin in the first place? Well, if you want to know the story, let me know. It is a crazy story. So right now, we're seeing what is the second most strongest tide in the world. So we have the Bay of Fundy in Canada, but this one's number 2, I think, or at least in one of the top. And this is right now very low tide. So look how low the tide is. People are walking down there to be part of a guided tour to walk down there. Hello Kay, hello Ronald, hello Irene, hello Diane, hello Andrew, hello Justine, hello Richard, and everyone. Let me know where you're watching from. You have to do this on a guided tour. Do not go walking these sands on your own, because right now you're surrounded by not just a tide that can come in at any moment. You won't drown, but you will be consumed by the sands, because all around here are many, many pockets of quicksand that will swallow you whole if you step in the wrong place. Also, the tide can come at any time. People know generally when it comes, but unexpected things can happen. And let me zoom in on the details over here. So I end up walking through the actual monastery. It's really cool. It's pretty much empty. You don't see too much furniture anymore, but the architecture is really cool. Very monastic style architecture that you see in the Catholic Church. And Diane says, wait, is this the beach? No, not technically. This is the actual mouth of the river. It's just, it's a tide. So the tide is so low that it's sand, but you gotta watch out because it could be quicksand in many of these parts. And then when it comes in, it literally becomes just all water. And then you have to, you can't really swim because it's too sandy. So you just have to pray. You come to pray over here, but you might find yourself in the position where you have to pray out there. So let me know if you want to know the origins. I can tell you the origins of this, because the moment I start walking, we're gonna risk the signal going away. So let me know if you want to know how this came about. Hey, Irene says, how do you know about the island? I ended up coming here on a group tour, so let me show you from how it looks like from afar. Maybe if we get lucky, I'll be able to show it to you on live video, but I'm shooting a short video nonetheless. So this is the island we're in right now. Dia says, I want to know. Is it sand all around? Yep. How high we are? 90 something meters. We're pretty high. So for this, we have to go back to the 700s AD. There was a bishop nearby in this area of Normandy, France, which was conquered by the Vikings for a long time. And that comes a little bit later. But this bishop, his name was Hubert. And Hubert ended up getting a dream. In this dream, he saw the archangel Michael, who was the one that can know the difference between truth and falsehood, good and evil. It's also the same archangel who ousted evil from this beautiful garden of a planet, the devil, or demons. So he came to him one night in his dreams, saying, "You must build a church, a monastery in my name here at this island in the middle of the mouth of the river." Hubert, he's a holy man, but he's not going to think that any dream is a divine vision. So he ignored it. Second time, he ended up getting another dream. Archangel Michael was persistent. Hubert thought to himself, I don't know. I think this might be a demon that's trying to pretend he's the Archangel Michael. It's better that I don't listen to it. I think that's pretty smart of him to do so, because in Christian lore, this has been known to happen. Some figure that pretends to be divine tells you to do something and ends up being not for your best interest. So he ignores it. Archangel Michael at this point is really pissed off. Or maybe pissed off not, if we were to humanize him, he would be pissed off. But of course he's a super divine entity, so he probably was very loving. But he wanted Hubert to build it already. So he came to him a third time, and this time he touched him directly here on the forehead, burning a hole right through his skull and saying, "No, this is real. You must build this monastery in my name." That skull, with the hole burnt right through it, can be still seen about 30 minutes away in a small little town. And I have the photo right here. And then Hubert definitely built it. So let me show you how this is what I saw inside the monastery. It's a depiction of that event. That's the Archangel Michael burning a hole through the skull of poor Bishop Hubert. Luckily Hubert, then that was a little clip for TikTok. Luckily Hubert then later admitted that, I gotta build this mont. So by the early 700s, he built this beautiful monastery right in the island. Then later on it became a fortification, and then later on it became a prison. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. But let me show you the skull. I'm gonna pop the image right now, and then we're gonna start walking. I'm gonna play it on the side right here. So that's the relic in the Iglesia Javet. The view is very good. Yeah, so the view you can see for very, very long. All right, now let's continue walking through and avoid any quicksand. So let's pray to the Archangel Michael. May he bless us with a strong cell phone reception. Everyone, let me know if you're praying. One way to pray is slamming that like button right now on Facebook, sharing this video. Actual bridge that comes over here. So you get here by shuttle. It's an entire tourist attraction, so it's pretty well set up. Hello Susie, nice to see you here. Welcome everyone. And someone earlier mentioned, I think it might have been DS saying, I knew it that you go live. Yeah. So we can see very far. We can see Brittany. We can see certain mountain ranges. We can see little kids about to go into the quicksand. Andrew says, can you only go on high tide? Only low tide, low tide. If it's high tide, the bridge will still be available. We might see a little bit later. But there has been a few occasions where the bridge has been submerged because the tide was super high. Mandy says, so you have to walk through the sand to get here? Before, back in the Middle Ages, all the way until the 1800s. The bridge was built only a few years ago, but before then in the woods. Hours and a half, I think, about by car. It's pretty far. Andrew says, so the tide is out? Right now is low tide. Yes, very low tide, according to the... So right now, I'm doing a day trip, doing a tour that I got through Get Your Guide. Very nice tour company. Small group, 6 people. And they allow us to roam until 2:45. But I gotta leave you guys a little bit earlier so I can do a TikTok video. And one can never escape honor. One cannot escape scaffolding. Susie says, it looks so hot here. It's really not that hot. It's pretty windy, so it's pretty chilly. Is that when you get into the sun, it feels a bit hotter, but in the shade. Nice to see you here. Welcome, Ron. Was the tour expensive? Yeah, this one was expensive. It was $200. Audio guide is included. Excuse-moi. Fila, thank you so much for praying for good signal. There's a lot of videos here that do a full walkthrough in 4K, so you can watch those afterwards. The reason I won't be doing another video record is because I want to bring it to you live, and then you can watch that 4K walkthrough later. So yeah, you're watching this live today. Adam asks, why is this castle built here? So it's a monastery. It was built in 708. Took a few years to build, and many years to build. And it was built because Bishop Hubert had a divine vision from Michael, the archangel Michael. Mandy says, can you tell us the cost? I spent $200 for this day trip. So the ride is included. It's a small group, 6 people, which is nice because sometimes bigger group tours can be a bit hectic. And the museum fare is included. No lunch is included. But later on, we're going to a chateau for a wine tasting, for a cider tasting. So right here is the gateway to hell. No, joking. Oh, if you see a dead bird, then yeah, maybe. I'm not sure what this is, but apparently this leads directly down to the sand. Tina says, what is the cost? $200 for the day trip. I found that on getyourguide.com. And right here, we're starting to see where we just came from. Excuse-moi. So let me know, will you walk on the sand knowing that at any moment you can step on quicksand? Andrew is asking, where's this tour from? It's from Paris. It came from Paris. Art says, everyone looks so calm, but Bitcoin's dropping. How is everyone so calm? Well, it's because a lot of people here invested in treasury bonds. Teresa says, were those birds or people? Those are people walking on the quicksand, but they advise that you only do it on the guided tour. Let's walk through here. Tour de Nord. Tour de North. Okay, cool. We can walk through the outer perimeter, which is nice. That means we'll probably have good cell phone reception. James says, is this the ocean? Yeah, it's the mouth of the river, so technically you can call it the ocean. Yep. I'll show you the river soon, and hopefully we'll see the bridge soon. Mandy says, so you can walk directly on the sand, just don't venture too far off. Yeah, I mean, you could do what you will. They just advise to go on the guided tour. Yes, you can venture on the sand. There might be quicksand at any moment. You really don't know. Of course, expert people do know how to avoid the quicksand. Susie says the quicksand is probably closer to a water. So this is a tide. This tide comes in and out every single day. So this becomes an island every single day. So when water comes rushing in, the sand, the water won't submerge you generally, but the sand will be so flowing so much that you'll get sucked in. Trish says a fantastic movie was filmed here called Mind Walk. Oh, interesting, a philosophy film. That's interesting. We actually die in quicksand or get stuck? Apparently according to the tour guide I have, she said that 50 people were rescued per year by helicopter. So apparently it's rare nowadays that people get stuck because they're so good at saving people. But if you're not saved, the helicopter doesn't come, there'll be a point where you just get, the pressure is so high that it'll crush your lungs and you'll asphyxiate. Oh, that's a hard word to say. But you'll run out of air. Asphyxiate. And there's shops. See?
It's fine in the sun, but they need the shade.
Art says, thanks, no going to quicksand for me. Yep. Oh my god. Wow. Sí, buenas. Pregunta cuánto es la temperatura. How much is the temperature? Alguien está mirando en español, puede preguntar cualquier cosa en español también. La temperatura es como 68 grados Fahrenheit. No sé cuánto de eso es en Celsius. About 68 degrees Fahrenheit.
Only the caramels, no the.
Veronica says, is this a touristy area? Yeah. 3 million tourists. I think pre-pandemic it was over 3 million per year. So let me pop up the map so you know where I'm at. So this is where we're currently located. So we're currently located in Normandy. Normandy borders Brittany at this point. And we are within Normandy. We're at that very border of Brittany. So northern France. This is the area where the Americans landed during D-Day in order to save the French, the English, and the other Allied powers from complete and utter destruction. And this is the layout of the entire island. So right now the island has anywhere between 30 and 40 people living here. Most of them are monks and nuns, or people involved in the shops. Mandy says, how far away are you from Paris? 4 hours and 20 minutes or so. Tigüena says it's 99. Wow, 99 grados. That's very hot where you are. Here's where they keep the unruly. So if you're an unruly tourist, watch out. Put you in that dungeon. Susie says that's so creepy. Yeah. Oh, there's cameras here. Look at that. That's cool. Adam said, D-Day landing worth it? You know, I did not think it would be worth it. That's why I did not plan to go. So I'm not going. I don't have time because I'm heading off to a new place on Wednesday. But according to my tour guide, they said that they go into the bunkers, which are really cool, that are all around the beach. So there's actual physical structures still from D-Day. And right here, look at that. Wow. So during the 10th century, this became a major pilgrimage site, and the Benedictine monks end up taking over. Right up there, we see the spire that was built, this version of the spire at least, was built in 1888. And on top, we have a copper figure of the Archangel Michael himself. Josie said, I was there in 2019 and the best time was at night to explore when all the tourists were gone. Oh, that's so cool that you stayed here. Yeah, there's like a hotel here. Am I staying the night? No, I'm not, unfortunately. So this served as an impregnable fortress during the 100 Years' War and hasn't been taken over by the English ever, even though they tried many, many, many times. Are these buildings still in use, Veronica? Yeah, they're mostly a tourist attraction, but yes, the monks and nuns are still here. Look at this. And then in the 1800s, and a little bit before then as well, they found out that this was very hard to get to. So why not put it into use and use it as a prison for people who were being very unruly during the French Revolution? So this also functioned as a prison. And during that time, there were more than 1,000 people here. So it was probably the most populated the island has been in the mid-1800s. Mandy says a lot of people on that sand, yeah. A lot of kids on the sand. Sí, buenas, dice, súper. Qué bien, sí, bien súper aquí. Very beautiful.
Est-ce que tu as 10 ans? Pourquoi?
Attention, là, il y a des gens.
Animas, was this a city at some point? No, it always was a monastery and then a prison, as I mentioned. So those have been really the only two uses. And it has been serving as a tourist attraction for a long time as well. And now there's a lot of restaurants and cafes and things like that you can dine with these views. All right, let's see if we can go outside. AEP says, glad you made it. I knew a nun here. She left after the tsunami. Oh no. Was there a tsunami here? AEP? That's interesting. Do let me know what year was the tsunami. Susie says, are you going surfing? Might as well. With the very low tide, it'll be very easy. All you gotta do is stand still. That's it, you surfed. Cool cafes, look at that. And there we go, now we see the bridge. Osaba says, good morning, where are we? We are at Mont San Michel, one of the most magical places on earth, especially when covered in fog and the tide is high. This looks like the Disney castle, quite literally. A Apparently, it was one of the main inspirations for Disney Castle. The other ones being a very famous castle in Germany. This reminds me also a lot of Santorini, without the beautiful blue wall Bob decided to visit. So now we're seeing the ramparts, which is the fortified structure around the actual monastery, and the older houses here. Look at that. Wow. Good morning, Debbie. Nice to see you here.
Ja, dan kom je weer uit bij de rotonde gezet. Het is wel een leuk binnenplaatsje zo, toch?
Oh ja, wonen naar beneden.
Pepe says, isn't there supposed to be water here? Who took the water? Who did it? Hey Pepe, as I mentioned, this is actually one of the most significant tidal changes in the world, along with the Bay of Fundy in Canada. And even the Thames River has a big tidal change as well. So yeah, the water comes in and comes out. Today it's out. The water has gone on holiday. I'll come back soon. Boo says all the videos are enjoyable. Thank you so much, Boo. Macrina says, wow, this is a completely different feel for the France. Very interesting. No, I'm so glad you're enjoying it, Macrina. Wow. Cool architecture here as well. Look at that. And here's one of the streets. I'm not going to walk through here because the cell phone reception will be very poor. But as I mentioned, there's a lot of YouTube videos, luckily, that are shot in 4K that walk through the entire Mont San Michel. They're really awesome. You can watch that afterwards. But I'll zoom in from this distance. Mendy says, how long did it take this? You know, that's a good question. It's the same thing with a lot of religious structures. Centuries to build this to what we have now. The ramparts, you know, are from the last few centuries. The monastery is from the 700s, so long, long time. Is this area normal? Yeah, I think probably the houses that are lived here are only certain shop owners. The monks and the nuns probably live in that area, right up there. Now, this is not just because of tourist reasons. This has been inhabited for many hundreds of years. So there has been shops here for many hundreds of years. Because this has been always a pilgrimage site. So there will be inns for the pilgrims, bars, of course, cafes, anything that you would need. Same thing with like a place like Glastonbury, which we visited. Cat Yellow Ranger says it reminds me of the beginning scene of Beauty and the Beast. Yep, basically same architecture. B channel, nice to see you here. Tariq says, do you tour around the world? Yes. And this summer I'm showing you Europe. All right, I can't walk through here because it's very thick walls, so we're gonna backtrack a little bit and see if we can go to the front. Susie says, we have time for quick coffee. You know, I don't think coffee will be near here necessarily quick, because I doubt there's like a cafe to go. But yeah, let's go outside. Nina says, wow, finally caught you live here in Australia. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you, Nina. All right, let's go down. Do they have Whole Foods? Ron, the moment they build Whole Foods, it's changing. James says hundreds of people used to live here. Yeah, the maximum in history apparently was about 1,100. All right. You can buy a striped shirt. So fun fact, the striped shirts that is very stereotypical of Paris is not from Paris at all. It's from this region of northern France, Normandy and Brittany, and the berets too. AP says they sell nice bread and beer. Ooh, cool. Walter says, is there a McDonald's here? I luckily not, I think. That would be so weird. Debbie says, I'm loving this tour. I've never been here. Oh, I'm so glad I can show you a magical place on Earth. So this is a very famous restaurant, apparently by a woman who came here in the late 1800s. Who started making super extra fluffy omelets. Omelets so fluffy that it became known all the world over. Here it is, the puff omelet. The puff omelet is La Mère Pillard's specialty and was. Our omelets are fluffy, generous, and cooked over a wooden fire. They come scallops or vegetables. Scallops, interesting. And the omelet cost 32 euro. A 32 euro omelet. Let me know. Would you buy a 32 euro omelet? Let's see if we can get a peek of someone eating an omelet. No. Jen says, I love omelets. Susie says, ooh, I love omelets. I make good omelets. Sahib says, and butter cookies. You can get them quite cheap. Oh, yeah, butter cookies. Is that famous also in this region? It's funny because on the photo, the omelet looks a bit overcooked. I don't like omelets when they get a little bit browned.
Ah mais encore récemment, mais il faut...
Max says, I'll take 2 omelets. Yeah, that'll be pretty filling. All right, so it's very full here today. Lots of school kid trips. Let's go. Let me show you it to you from afar. Okay, you know, before I go into the bridge, do you guys want to step on the sand? Let me know. Should we? Mandy says, watch the sand. All right, let's go. Let's go to the sand. Then I'll show you the views from afar. Woo. Nope, no quicksand here. Oh, but we got a sandstorm coming ahead. Cue the music. Okay, Google, play Sandstorm. I forgot the guy who made Sandstorm. Alexa, play Sandstorm. All right. I'm not syncing yet. Are we good? Let me zoom in on the ground. Nope, no syncing yet. I mean, if we want to sync, if we want to go see quicksand, who wants to see live quicksand? Susie says, imagine the views you would get if you do a live video getting stuck in quicksand. Yeah, that would go viral. That would definitely go viral. Oh, yes, indeed. Oh my God, I gotta put on more sunscreen. Darude is the guy who made the song Sandstorm. Thank you so much. It's hard sand. Over here. Look. So this is a buoy. That's what they're called, right? Buoys. They float. It's because this right here, water comes right here. We would be submerged. You know, I'm a very tall 5'3". So don't worry. I'm a very tall 5'3". I'll be okay if the water suddenly comes rushing in. If it's a tsunami on the other hand, then yeah, we might be screwed. Where do you have to meet your tour guide at? There in the front. Right here. Not too bad. All right. Woo. Wind is blowing. Clemens says the paranoia. Clemens, I'm adding the drama. I think sometimes it's fun to add the drama. I mean, I could just say, you know, guys, the sand is relatively safe. Oh, look, it's hard. I feel calm now. It's nice. I mean, I could do the live video that way. But is that fun? I don't know. If you see TV, they always up the drama. So, of course, take my words with a grain of salt and do your own research. But yes, quicksand can be dangerous. So don't want to make too much light of it. Don't be too confident. But also, it's not that dangerous. At least right now, at this moment. David says if you get stuck in quicksand, it will definitely increase viewership. Yep. I just gotta be able to place the camera in a position that will capture me being submerged in quicksand. Or I can do it in selfie mode as well. Hey, I'm professional. Thank you so much for using that command. That's cool. Oh. Yeah, high-speed bikes. All right. Are you guys ready to look back? You know, they say in life, never look back. But today you have to look back because the view of the actual San Michel is gorgeous. Susie says, are you walking back to Paris? Pretty much at this point. There's actually a shuttle bus. The shuttle bus starts over here. I think it's accessible. It seemed to me to be accessible. Double check on the website. Are cars allowed here? I think if you have a permit, yes, you can bring your car, but not to the public. So the way to get here as the public, you would have to take the shuttle bus right here. All right, are you ready? This is San Michel, Mont San Michel, from afar. This is the view that people take all the photos of. And also, just looking mesmerized. It would be so cool coming here on a rainy, cloudy day with the fog rolling in. But here, at least we can see in full clarity. So slam that like button right now. This is our final stop on this tour. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see a higher quality version, there's a lot of them available on YouTube. Just search Mont San Michel walkthrough, Mont San Michel tour. You'll find a bunch of them. Same thing with a lot of sites I cover. But I hope you enjoyed this live for the people who were able to have those notifications on. So, here is Mont San Michel. Voila. Look at that. Oh my God. Archangel Michael, you rocked it. Thank you so much. And Hubert too. Thank you, Hubert, for sacrificing your skull in order to build this gorgeous structure here in this little island. You know, we gotta start doing more of this in modern human history. We have to continue building things just for the sake of building them. Baby Channel says, you know, Cookie St. Michael is very good. Maybe I'll buy some. Maybe I'll buy a pack. Take it with me to my next destination. Tina says, how amazing is that? Oh, yes. Looks like Minas Tirith from Lord of the Rings. Arnell, nice to see you here. Thanks again for tuning in. Arnell says it looks like Lord of the Rings. Yep, it's because Minas Tirith and those cities in Lord of the Rings were directly inspired by this. In the movie, they directly said that they were inspired by Mont San Michel on how they visualized it in the film. Ooh, now it's windy. Now it's time to put on that cardigan. Gary says that looks like a Kennedy for the urbanist layer. Oh yes. Let's zoom in one more time. Do you backtrack to buy any souvenirs? Yeah, I'm recording a TikTok and I'm gonna grab a bite to eat. Maybe a coffee. Maybe like 5 coffees. All right, everyone, now I'm gonna walk on the sand. I'm gonna go back, go find some quicksand, do a quick TikTok. Thank you everyone so much for tuning in. This was Mont San Michel here in northern France. Highly recommend it. 4 hours and something to get here by car. So if you rent yourself a car, you can do it. I assume you can catch a train, then you might have to catch a bus or two to get here. That might be a little bit trickier, but you can also do the day tours. I find my day tours usually at getyourguide.com. It's probably one of the best places to find day tours. So I highly recommend doing so. And Janice says a sun hat, that might be requisite here at this place. Everyone, keep being awesome and always keep on exploring. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye. Au revoir, mes amis.